Today in the crypto space, we see the market showing a bit of weakness. Bitcoin down approximately 2%, Ethereum down only 1%. However, the rest of the crypto space looking a little sideways. No real convictions here to the upside, and maybe looking for a bit of weakness to the downside. In today's video, I want to talk about the general market. I want to use Bitcoin as a leading indicator, but more importantly, I want to talk about one project, one gaming project that is looking pretty good, potentially looking for that breakout very soon, and that project is called KARRAT. So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunity. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with the general market. Here we can see that the market cap, let me do a quick refresh so we can get some of these symbols, some of these fractals showing up here. You can see that the market cap is taking a bit of a dip, okay? What I don't like is that the trading volume is still coming down. In fact, it made a lower low, right? The market right now, market participation is not in our favor. The volatility is slowly diminishing. And when there's no market participation, while we're getting signs of weakness in Bitcoin and froth, it might give us that perfect storm for a bit of a correction, a deeper retracement than expected. And this is one of the things that I definitely want you guys to consider, is that the market has been very greedy in the last little while, and we have seen the fear and greed index pull back just a little bit. However, we haven't seen a full reset. Is it possible to see the fear and greed index come down to the fearful zone once again, even for a short-term dip on the 1 hour and then the 4 hour, so that ultimately we can buy the dip and continue with this bull run with some strength and great entries on some of the altcoins that you appreciate? That's the whole strategy here. Guys, it's important that we shift bearish and bullish whenever we see that on various time frames, because we want to take full advantage of the volatility. Okay, so super important. Let's keep on going down. Let's scrape through the top 100. Let's see what's going on here. Then we'll jump right into the Bitcoin chart just to use it as an indicator, and then we'll take a look at KARRAT. What could KARRAT be doing? Obviously a gaming project, part of the My Pet Hooligans ecosystem of games. If you're looking into a game, go check it out, because I think it's pretty good. Ultimately, it's definitely a project that a lot of people have been buzzing about in the last little while. We're just waiting for the gaming narrative to wake up and show us the way. All right, guys. Again, Bitcoin dipping down a little bit here. You can see Ethereum rolling over a little bit, not looking the greatest. Although it did go up for that higher high, that's great. We expect Ethereum to show strength when we expect an altcoin season, and so far it has been doing a great job, definitely outperforming Bitcoin in the last 7 days. So good stuff there. BNB is also looking pretty strong. However, the lower high is not a good look, and this is going to be consistent across the market. We are going to see lower highs across the market, except Ethereum based projects, which gives us again that indication that we're seeing the rotation. Altcoins are doing pretty good here. We saw the Bitcoin dominance fall in the last little bit, a small fall, but we are expecting a much bigger one eventually to see a true altcoin season. So guys, make sure you pack those bags in preparation. Solana obviously in a downtrend, Doge downtrend, Cardano making lower highs and lower lows still. Again, anything Ethereum based is doing pretty good following Ethereum's moves. AVAX looks a bit confused right now. Is it going sideways? Is it a head and shoulders formation? Is it going to come down and break below the lows and, you know, come down for a lower low? Maybe. And you can see that the market in general is either very hesitant and confused, or you know, coming down already, retracing already. Look at Sheeb and many others, right? Chainlink is going sideways, a sign of strength, of course, and of course it's pegged to Ethereum as the main oracle out there, so I can see that doing pretty good. Near Protocol is actually doing pretty good as well, neutralizing a lot of the negativity, and in fact, in the last little bit, they did get a small little pop to the upside, which is healthy. Of course, Uniswap, guys, Ethereum based, it is up 40% pretty much in the last 7 days, so it's doing pretty good. Anything Ethereum based, again, I'm going to repeat that. Anything Ethereum based is doing pretty good. However, the rest is either going sideways, desperately attempting to neutralize, or already retracing. CRO, retracing. Matic, sideways. Ethereum base, so not bad. Render, definitely did pretty good today. Broke out higher high here for Render, a big project that has been doing fairly well in this cycle. So it's a very strong cycle project. Even FET is doing pretty good with that higher high. Tau doing pretty good, but again, sideways, a lot of sideways, a few retracements. And the question is, if Bitcoin takes a bigger dip than expected, what's going to happen to the altcoin market? Are we going to finally get a bit of a retracement so we can see this market get a few bullish bids for the next impulsive move? So I'm very interested to see what could happen in the next little while. Even, you know, being able to buy into more Phantom or Injective or any other good projects out there. Ultimately, it's the dips are meant for buying, guys. And as Bitcoin shows us the way, we need to be prepared. All right, guys, let's talk about Bitcoin. I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's begin by talking about Bitcoin, and then we'll talk about KARRAT. Bitcoin at the current moment, you know, is in a very confused state, in my opinion. These are areas where a lot of people lose a lot of capital. Unless you're not, if you're practicing healthy risk management, you're doing okay. If not, you're going to get wrecked. So be careful. As you can see here on the daily, we're getting a bit of data, not a lot. The rejection right here is not the greatest. You can see that the rejection was caused by this node of volume right into the zone, and right around this level, guys, I was saying, you know what, maybe it's time to cool off here. Maybe it's time to take risk off the table, take a bit of profits. And I started raising capital right around this level across the market, not on Bitcoin, but all the altcoins. I've been taking a bit of profit, and I'm quite happy with that. But the real interesting levels, or the real interesting TA, is on the 4-hour. You can see that the diagonal trend, basically we broke below, we broke back above, and now we're back below again. And what's most important is the horizontal. Back what I said on the daily, it's this horizontal right here with this node of volume right around, you know, more or less $97,240, right? This is the level where we got rejected so accurately. This was TA that I proposed yesterday, and it did kind of, you know, play out here, which is great. And below the trend line is not a good look. A lower high is not a good look. The lack of volume is not a good look, because all of this is the confirmations of potential continuation to the downside for this reversal, right? And I'm anticipating it. It could be very possible that that's what happens. So really in this zone, I'm not really adamant of taking risk. I am going to be very, very cautious here, as the momentum on the 4-day is looking for potentially another move to the downside, or maybe a bounce up, but the volatility line looks pretty convinced that it wants to come down. It's just a mess. There's no real confluence and conviction for me to introduce risk again. I took a lot of profit. I don't want to give it back to the market. All right, guys, so that's my take. Bitcoin, take it easy. Now, KARRAT, the project of the day. Obviously, I cover projects every single day, and I try to find good setups for you guys, whether they be bearish so we can short, or bullish, or so we can long and prepare for a continuation up. Ultimately, it's about, you know, being able to ride the volatility. And what I appreciate here about what I see on this chart is that there is volatility, but still at the same time some stability. The stability is the structure. You can clearly see that it's been respecting the structure, at the same time very volatile within the structure. If you are trading the lower time frames, you are definitely appreciating, you know, the range. You're appreciating the respect that the TA has with the structure, which is good. And if you're looking for a big position right now, is to pay a bit of attention, because as I mentioned 4 weeks ago when we did cover this, when I covered this project, I told you guys, wait for structure. And here we are waiting patiently for the structure, and we are seeing a consolidation. We are seeing it slowly consolidate to the point that we're going to be prepared for an expansion. Now, what I want to be clear here about is the expansions usually after a symmetrical triangular formation, after a pump like this. As you can see, it did move up and it went sideways in a symmetrical consolidation. Technically speaking, probability is that we break out bullish. Okay, that's the stat. Now, we could still break out bearish. It's also a probability of a lot smaller of a probability, but it's also very possible. It is also very possible that, you know, the price comes down to hunt liquidity, then gets back above. That's still very possible. You know, markets are crazy that way, and market makers love wreaking havoc for individuals. But what's most importantly that what we have to understand is as we get closer to the apex of this triangular formation, we tend to see the breakout happen. And the statistic is 70%. Once you get 70% towards the apex of the symmetrical triangle, that is when we should expect a breakout. So I eyeballed it more or less right into this level. We're approaching it. Could happen earlier, could happen later, but I'm just saying right around this level is where we could expect that the price starts to break out, bearish or bullish, and just the probability is that it's bullish, okay, based on the fact that it's consolidating after an impulse. Maybe this is going to be the continuation. The thing that really interests me too about this chart also, before we get into the oscillators, is the fact that above there's a bit of weakness. As you can see, an emptiness right into the zone that will allow the price to kind of like glide right through all of this little resistance that it does have. There's a bit more right into this level. As you can see, a bit of volume, a bit of emotion right here, and also at about 96 cents, psychological round number, $1. I would be careful there. If the price, if we do break out and get to that zone, you might want to start, you know, taking a bit of profit and trailing up a stop loss so that, you know, technically you're protecting your gains. That's really what the job is at that point. Right now, what you're really trying to do is build a position as we are respecting the horizontal support within the structure. The risk to reward ratio right now on KARRAT is absolutely healthy. You have many bottoms. You got the horizontal support. You got this bottom. You got everything that you need. You even have the point of control here at about 49 cents, 49.5 cents, where you could technically say this is where we got the most volume and support for the price to bounce off of. So looking pretty good. Okay, so that's that. A little bit of volume increasing as well, as you can see. Let me kind of stretch this out. You can see a bit of a volume increase right here on at the tail end of this price action. And finally, the oscillators, guys. If you want to know more about these oscillators, they're called Synergy Signal. I got links in the description below. They are a custom oscillator, and they've been doing very, very well. Now, I don't want to use them on the 4-hour. I want to see what's going on the daily here for a second. I want to stretch this out. Let's put this up here. Let's make this a bit smaller for now. And you can see that we've been stuck in the chop zone. The chop zone is not a really good trading scenario for a breakout. It's good for trading the range. If you want to do that, thumbs up, good stuff. Ultimately, what I worry about here is this. If the momentum decides to get oversold, the price is going to break down and come down for a confirmation low that is ideally above this bottom. So maybe down here. It's very possible. We have an empty volume gap that could, you know, act as a level of support. Retracement style comes down to the 886. Maybe that bounce, we get oversold. However, if we continue respecting this support line, and in bullish conditions, the chop zone could act as support the same way that in bearish conditions, the chop zone could act as resistance, as it has done. What about if we get a bounce and we get overbought? And we start to see a green expansion to the upside? Is that possible? 100%, guys. The only thing that I can say is that the risk of it coming down could be mitigated by the risk management or strategy because of the risk to reward ratio. You could put a stop loss right underneath these bottoms, accumulate right into this level, and expect that expansion eventually. However, if it breaks down, you're taking a tiny loss. You're taking a small loss. If it runs, breakout time, it starts to move significantly. We'll talk about the setup in a second. So this is what I'm looking at. There is risk. There's always risk in every trade. The thing is that you got to make sure that the setup could mitigate that risk by taking a small loss and not taking a massive loss. That's basically what you're trying to do. Losses happen. Traders have to be great losers. And what that means is to mitigate or make those losses as small as possible and extend the gains as much as possible so that ultimately you become a profitable trader. That's the idea here. The trend oscillator, okay, does look pretty good, but it also looks like it's consolidating. The expansions are getting smaller on the bearish side and also on the bullish side. And we do see the EMAs right now coming down and retracing into a good level of horizontal, which means that it could go sideways a little bit more before it goes for another bullish attempt and expanding. What I do see is the big picture is this: lots of bullish divergences to the upside. Okay, where the bearish divergences don't really exist and as strong and as evident and as much confluence as this right here. So I have a bit of conviction with that being said. Okay, so let's look at the price action once again. Now that we built our idea here, with regards to price action, momentum, and trend oscillator. Let's move this over just a little bit. We'll put it right there for now, and we'll start looking at the setup. Let's say we were going to go long. Reality is my bias is to the upside right now. We should have a bullish bias, and we should be prepared to protect ourselves. I would say let's say we put a stop loss right here, and let's say we take profit right around the zone. You can see the risk to reward ratio is very healthy, even range bound, even right here at the top of the range. Right here, which is the most important level that we break out of, it's still the risk to reward ratio is 2.6 to 1. That's a very healthy ratio. You will be up 32% without even really classifying a break a structure. A break of structure would mean that we would have to break above the previous high. And at this current moment, we're looking to break the trend. Obviously, we want to break these tops, but we got to break also this top right here and maybe contend with this one at this current moment with these bottoms. So you can see there's a lot of resistance here. And in order to play it safe, it's a great idea to always take profits at the most visible, most logical level of resistance. And obviously, leave some in the game, even if it's via stop loss, to see if we actually get a full extension to the upside. Because if you take Fibonacci and you go from the swing high to the swing low, we can hit the 1.27, even the 1.618 extension, which takes us very close to the psychological level of $1 around the zone, and you can front run and take a bit of profit earlier just in case. You get what I mean? So we're in a very good state to start looking for entries at the bottom of the range, and ultimately knowing that if we do break down to this level, you don't want to take that loss. Put that stop loss right around the zone. Obviously, it's not an exact science, but you definitely want to have a stop loss to mitigate the risk just in case Bitcoin does come down for that bigger retracement, and Ethereum obviously is going to take the hit because of that, and the market is going to have enough fear for individuals to get out of their risky positions. Risk on assets take the biggest hit when Bitcoin comes down. That's the reality. All right, guys. So if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. I'm going to be live tonight at 8 p.m. EST. Feel free to join. You can make requests on any projects you want me to cover. I do live TA for you guys, looking at setups, looking at for opportunities with great risk to reward ratios. Obviously, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip.